Hey, it's Philip with G6 Technology Services. In this video we've got a special treat. We have a, I don't remember the model number, we'll get into it in a little bit, but it is a Cisco router. It's kind of older, and the reason that I got that is, number one, I just want to be able to play with a Cisco router with iOS. I've never done that before, so we'll get to learn it. And the second involves this card that I also have that's supposed to work with it, which is an analog modem card. And so kind of what I want to do is create my own little dial-up ISP setup here in the office. So when I have some old PCs that I'm playing with, I can get them connected to dial-up to kind of replicate some of the experience from back then. So this card actually has some corrosion on it, and it doesn't look like it's in the best shape. At least just this front metal piece. The card itself looks fine. So I don't know if it's going to work. We'll find out. It was like $8 or something, so not a big deal. I can get another one. This, though, I hope works. This was about $100 off of eBay. I think it's a $37.25 if I remember correctly. We'll see when we get into it, but I haven't opened it yet. I scored the tape so I can open it easier, but it's still unopened. There we go. So let's see what's in here. Oh, I see packing peanuts. I hate packing peanuts. Oh, this is going to make a huge mess. Oh, I already got one trying to escape. I don't know what this is. They gave us some little packet. I'll open that in a minute. Let me put this off to the side. Anything else in here? No, I see the router. Looks like I'm going to have to get rid of these foam peanuts, so I'm just gonna stop the recording real quick and clean this packing peanut mess up and get this router out of the box. Alright, well, I got it out, and unfortunately I'm finding a lot of little pieces of Cisco colored plastic all inside of here, and just looking at this, the cover's kind of bent, and every time I try to move this, more little pieces of plastic fall out of it. It's kind of broken right here. So let me get this box out of here and get the router put up on the table, and we'll look at it closer. Okay, well, as I'm looking at it more, this is definitely not a museum quality piece, and RIP this front panel because that thing's wrecked. Every single tab except for one is broken off. This post, I don't know how that's supposed to come out, but that's broken, that's broken. This little piece in here is broken. So I'm gonna have to just get some Velcro to hold this on. That's really a shame. It would have been a lot better if this seller removed this, if that's even possible. I don't know how you're supposed to necessarily do that, but it did not survive shipping. That's really a shame. This is very cracked and damaged, and very upset about that. But anyway, and the top cover came dislodged, but that looks like we can just kind of put it back in there. So I'm going to take these screws out and we'll look at the inside, and let's look at the back real quick. I haven't looked at the back yet. So this is kind of the business end of it anyway. We have two fast Ethernet ports over there, two over here, an empty compact flash card slot, which I hope there's an internal one because I don't have a compact flash card. That's going to be a shame. Power switch, console, an aux port, and all the blank covers are there, so that's good. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't open this up yet that came in it, but that's probably the ears, because it had them in the picture in the listing, but it doesn't have them on there now. So let me get that cut open, and we'll get this lid taken off. Alright, yes, that was the ears that was in that thing, and also for some reason, I don't know if they sent me the wrong thing or I'm just missing something, but these screw holes don't line up on here. If you have this lined up, I don't know if I can really show it on camera. Let's see. See, these, can you, let me see, I'm kind of having a hard time showing that. Okay, see, these are lined up at the top, but then I'll just do it next to it, that'll be better. See from, oh, sorry, it wasn't even the shot. See this one? If that's lined up, right there, that's lined up. This one does not line up. It's too, the screw hole's too high. So I can screw both of the top ones in or both of the bottom ones in. And that's the same on the other side, and it's the same if I flip it. Either way, it's just slightly off and doesn't go. So I don't know if that's the design. I would think that you would want to have all 4 screws, but it just does not fit. If you put it right next to it, maybe something, well, that one lines up. Well, that lines up. Let me try this other one. Yeah, it was this one that doesn't line up. That's weird. So they gave me like 2 different... Oh, they are. I didn't even notice that. He gave me 2 completely different brackets. You see that? That side, the right side's lining up, the left side doesn't line up. I slide it over. Yeah, so I got one good bracket. Oh, that's so weird. Left and right, there's different thicknesses. Oh. Well, actually, I wonder if that part matters. That would be crazy. Let me see. Left. I don't know if they're supposed to be the same or not. Okay, this left one lines up. Maybe they're just different. I didn't think it would make a difference, but... Oh, it does. Oh, that's crazy. It does make a difference, the left and right. Huh, usually they're exactly the same. Okay, so, yeah, I was just missing something. It's not the wrong brackets. That's so weird. One of them's bigger than the other, so it's not going to sit exactly centered in the rack then, right? Because one of them sticks out further. And the holes don't line up. That's so weird. I've never seen that. Usually they're identical. Well, anyway, now that that mystery's solved, let's open this thing up and see what's inside of here. Is this... Oh, it just kind of hinges up. Does this come off? There we go. Alright, well, it looks really clean. Oh, good. There is a card in here. 128 megabytes. And it's really clean. I don't even have to clean anything. It's already clean. Alright. Well, I guess that's all we need to do in here. So let me try to put this cover back on that was kind of knocked loose during shipping. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Oh, there we go. Oh, and it's kind of bent because this corner doesn't want to stay down. Let me see if I can fiddle with this with 2 hands and get that to sit flat in there. Alright, I did get it to kind of sit a little bit better, but it's still kind of bent. And I got the ears on here. They did mount on there just fine. And it's just still so strange to me that one of them sticks out further than the other. And I guess it matters so they all line up the same way in the rack. If you've got more than one, I don't know why they made the hole spacing different so you can't flip it around. But I have them on here backwards, so the right's on the left and the left's on the right because I want it back facing front so I can get to all the ports. And also I don't want to have to look at the ugly trimless front because this thing will not stay on there. It kind of teeters with this one hook. I'm going to have to get some double-sided tape or some Velcro or something. That still makes me so upset. And it looks like that you do have to open it up in this post. Actually, there's a screw coming from the inside that you'd have to take off, and then this just slots right off. So if they had taken just a couple of minutes to take this cover off and take this screw out, take this off, and wrap it separately, it would be all in one piece. But they didn't do that, so now it's broken. And I did go ahead and take this blank off of here and I'm going to stick this card in. Figure why not? Might be doing too many things at once. I haven't even turned it on yet. I don't know if the thing even works, but we're just gonna go for it, because why not? Just stick that in here, and then just give it an extra little quarter turn with the screwdriver just to make sure, it's fine. It doesn't need to be super tight, just to keep it from falling out, I guess. So yeah, that's that. Let me go ahead and see if I can find my console cable, and we'll get this computer set up and get this thing powered on and see what we can see on the terminal. Alright, I found my little USB to serial cable with the RJ45 on the end. I hope this pinout is correct for these Cisco routers. This is just a generic cable I got on the internet. So we'll try it and see if it works or not. Got a power cord plugged in, power supply switch is off, and we've got putty running here on the serial port here, 9600 baud, COM3 in this case, which will be different depending on your setup, but we'll go ahead and turn it on and see what happens. I kind of just want to see what state it's in when it boots up, if it's got a configuration on it or if they wiped it for us. I did some research and I have the manuals pulled up for how to do it with and without the password, so let's just see where we're at. We'll back up and see if it catches on fire or anything. Well, starting up, and we're getting some stuff here, so that's good. Sounds good. Fans don't sound like they need to be replaced or anything. Don't really have any activity though, so I don't know. Hopefully it has iOS on it, and hopefully it's supposed to do this. I don't know if it just takes a minute, or if they just put a completely blank flash card in there and there's no operating system. So I'm not really sure what the startup process is supposed to look like. I don't really see. Oh, let me look on the front actually. I taped this bezel back on here. Okay, we've got power light and the system light flashing. So I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look into it and see what exactly is supposed to be happening right now. Well, I guess I just didn't wait long enough. It is doing something, so it's decompressing the image, so I guess there is an operating system on here, so that's good. I was worried about having to try to find a copy of it somewhere since I don't have a support contract. And I don't like downloading stuff off of websites like Archive or just any other sketchy websites that you don't really know what you're getting. Okay, let's see. Version 12.4. I don't really know what that means. I don't know how recent it is. 2006 ending copyright date. Yeah, compiled 2006. So that's good. Well, I don't know how much longer this is going to take, but I'll come back when we get to a prompt. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's already been factory wiped. It says, would you like to enter initial configuration? And we are showing all of our interfaces, 4 fast Ethernet, 1 serial, 1 terminal line. So I don't know what the last two are. One of them is going to be this modem. I don't know what it means by serial or terminal line, which one's which. So, because I don't see anything else on here, there's just the 4 fast Ethernet, so I don't know what other serial, unless it means this aux port or something. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time messing with Cisco gear, so I don't know. So, at least it looks like everything's showing up though. So, I'm going to, this is not a Cisco tutorial, this is more just kind of follow me along in my journey while I'm playing with this. So, I'm not going to show this whole initial configuration. I'm going to try to just play with it and get it to where I can manage it remotely. And then we'll try to actually get some settings on there. Alright, I got it reconfigured so I can access it remotely, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this thing in the network rack. I got the power killed to it. We're going to unplug our serial cable, we don't need that anymore. unplug our network cable. I don't know if I can lift this thing up with one hand or not, but a neat trick. So these rack ears actually have these slotted holes, and that allows us to do something kind of cool. So let me see if I can... Oh, this might be dangerous. I don't know if I can pick this up with one hand. Well, anyway, let me go and get it in there and I'll just come back. So what I was going to say is what these slots allow you to do is you put your bottom two screws in, like halfway screw them in, and then you can just pick the thing up and set it down and it'll hold itself in so you can do the top screws. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting this tightened down, get our power connected, and then get us connected back into the network. And then I'm going to have to do some more research and figure out what we need to do. I've got an ATA that I'm going to hook up to my phone system to get this thing a phone line. And then we're going to get a old laptop and try to establish a dial-up connection to it. Alright, so this will be the physical setup here. We've got our Cisco router plugged into the network. We have our ATA plugged into the network. And then we have our phone line coming across into our modem card. So I just have to get some more configuration done so that the modem part will work. But I do have the IP set up and I can SSH into it. So that's all good. And so anyway, I will do some more of that and we'll come back when it's working. Alright, so I'm back several weeks later. Had some issues that I had to do some research and figure out. Had to order some stuff and I was sick, but back at it now, got it working. I'm super excited. So let me kind of give you a rundown of what's going on. So this should still look familiar. The biggest thing is I actually had to replace the ATA. It turns out that I was not paying attention when I ordered the other one. It was a 190, ATA 190, that is only compatible with Cisco Call Manager. I wasn't able to get it working with my Asterisk free PBX setup. Even with the SCCP modules, just could not figure out how to make it work. So had to get a, I think it's an SPA 112 or something like that. It is, yes, SPA 112, and so it has two lines. So actually what I plan on doing is I have 3 more slots that I can put these modems. And let me tell you something, if you've never looked at these things, people are just out of their minds. These little modem cards, this single port modem, I found them from like $5 to $15 on eBay. That's not bad. The 2-port is like 50 or 60 that I'm seeing. If you want, or up to 100 even, I think, if I remember correctly. And but anyway, the like 4 and 8-port ones are like $1,000, $2,000. It's crazy. So I'm just gonna fill this up with 4 1-port. Oh, actually, did I miscount? Is there 3 of those over here? So I can add 4 more, even. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add 3 more because these ATAs have 2 ports, so I'm just going to get a second one, and then I will have 4 simultaneous modem connections that I can connect computers to. So yeah, this second line I'm actually just using right now is connecting to the laptop in the other room to do testing, but in the future there will just be another phone line as part of the phone system. Second ATA, just a client one in another area. So for now, for testing, I just have the 1 modem going into this port on the left, and then the port on the right is going to the laptop. But it's all set up and working, and it just bridges onto the network that it's plugged into here. And it works fine. Got local network access and internet access. So we have this cord just going kind of down on the floor into the other room. And let's walk in there and I'll show you what we got. Alright, here's the other end of our phone line, and I just have that plugged in here to this laptop, and then you can see that besides the charger, there's nothing. Let me plug this light in real quick, see if that makes a difference. There's nothing else plugged in to this computer except the phone line and the charger. And then if we open it up, Wait for that to load. And then it is a little bit slow. It's dial-up, of course, but there we go. We got Google. So I'm super excited that this is working. It's been a long time in the making. I've spent so many hours frustrated over this, and it's because I just don't have any experience with Cisco iOS and have just been making some mistakes on the configuration, but I'm learning as I'm going, so it was good. So basically what we have here is our dial-up statistics. So I was doing some research because I was a little bit concerned. I wonder if this will be better if yeah. So anyway, if I just zoomed in a little bit. So I was doing some research. It's only connecting between 30 and 33 kilobits per second, and I was expecting 56. But what I found out is that apparently isn't possible with just two modems connected to each other. You have to have, on the server end of it, you have to have a digital modem that's connected over like a T1 or PRI or something like. So I don't know what the details are, but I don't have that here. That may be something I look into in the future, or not, I don't know, we'll see. That's kind of a lot of extra work to do that, but it might be fun. And then we can see in our statistics, we do have our send and receive. We got connection going in both ways, and compression is working. There's no errors. And then over in our other information, just if you wanted to see what that looks like, we are connected here with PPP to the Cisco router, and we do have the MPPC compression. I don't have multi-link, which I didn't really know what that was, and I still don't have 100% grasp on it, but from what I've been able to tell, you're able to, if your computer has more than one physical modem and you have more than one phone line at your house, you can connect to a dial-up provider on more than one modem and kind of bond them together and get faster connection. So I didn't bother provisioning that on the server because I only have one modem, and I'm not really going to be doing that anyway. I'd rather just have one connection per computer. Kind of more realistic anyway, because you would have had to been a real high roller back in the day to have 4 phone lines or whatever and a bunch of modems connected to your computer. So I don't know what that was used for. I've never heard of it anyway, but there it is. So I will give you the full experience. I just wanted to show you everything working. Here, we'll go and we'll do something else. Let me see. Ping google.com. And we can see it's doing it. Not very fast, but it's doing it. And yeah, it times out sometimes even, so we got 3 out of 4. But it did it. So I do want to give you the full experience, so let me go ahead and disconnect and we'll reconnect, so you can hear all the glorious sounds. And it worked. So again, I am super excited. I don't know why. What am I going to do with this? But I just missed kind of that whole process. It's just a little bit nostalgic. I used to have to do that when I was younger before we switched to cable internet, and so I just think that's pretty cool that we can do that. I want to set up a kind of vintage computer lab where I just have PCs from different decades kind of set out on tables, and then have them connecting to the network in an, you know, era appropriate manner. So we'll have some older ones with dial-up, and then maybe I'll look at getting some equipment in the lab here for DSL and DOCSIS, and just kind of play with some of those internet connection technologies. Well, it's like networking tech, but you wouldn't use it in a building. It's specifically for WAN connections. So anyway, I think that's it. I don't know what else I can show you. It's working, and I'm happy with it. I'm not going to go into the whole Cisco router config. If you really want to see that, you can post a comment and I'll paste it somewhere and share the link, but it's just, I got it to work. I don't know if it's the cleanest and most correct, but I got it working, so. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I don't even know how long this video is. It's like I said earlier, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I filmed the first half of it. But yeah, I got that router installed. It was a little bit damaged, but it still works. It was actually very clean on the inside. I was happy with that. And then we got our network, or that modem card in there, and got dial-up working, and that was the whole goal. So I'm glad that I was able to get that done. I thought it was, well, I thought it was going to be harder based on, at the end, what I would have had to do at the beginning to make it work had I known one thing, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I struggled for a little while, and it was just one little command that I needed to do, so that was a little bit upsetting, but got it working. So I'll do some more on the router, reconfigure some things. We're gonna, like I said, get some more modem cards, so we'll do a follow-up when all that stuff comes in. I've got some more on the way now, so I'm gonna go ahead and post this video, and then whenever that stuff comes in, we'll do a follow-up. And I've got another Cisco router coming as well, because it's been kind of fun and interesting learning how to set it up. So I want to have this one just sitting there working for this dial-up lab, and then have the other one I can play with, actually doing some non-dial-up stuff with the actual networking. You know, just see if I can set up VLANs and ACLs and all that fun stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.